what time is it where you are?
Right now in Paris, and it's 2:34.
Oh, nice. In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, it's morning for me. It's nice thunder and some rain needed in Austin, Texas. And then
Oh,
Ethan will be
nice.
joining us shortly. He's out of the Gold Coast, Australia. So
Oh,
we've
okay.
got time zones all over the place.
That's
So yeah,
good. That's
this morning
good.
I'm a little late. Yesterday I had my dogs. I take them for a walk every morning, and I had just gotten back from the walk, and I was fixing something in the garage. I left the garage door open. They're big dogs, and they took off for a second. Normally they don't. So then I'm like, oh, they wouldn't have gone down the road. There's no way. And we don't. It's not a main road, but it's kind of a busy road just down the cul-de-sac. And so I closed the garage door and I went looking for them. And by the time I come back, they're both at the gate. And so I'm like, get in here. So I bring him in, da da da. And I look, one of them's got, cuts all over his legs. So I'm like, what is going on? So I try to figure out, and I see the other one has it. So we're trying to investigate, how did these dogs, maybe they jumped and got stuck on a fence or something like that. And then
Oh,
finally a neighbor comes down and is like, I just saw your dog get hit by a car.
oh no.
So sad part, we spent all day in the emergency room and he was fine. Everything's fine. And it turns out the only issue is the fact that they think he got hit by a car maybe months ago because his hip's displaced.
Oh, so
So yeah, so
when
I
this
got all
happened
kinds of
though,
dog problems.
I
We
mean,
don't know. I mean,
that's
like
funny.
3 or 4 months ago, something similar happened, and he was like hobbling, but I didn't.
Oh,
I was like, "Why are you hobbling?" So we just aided him and helped him out, and then by the next day, he was ready to do his walks again. So I'm like, "Okay, I guess you're fine." But sounds like his hip was out of place, and he just like
he's
went
like
down. So,
a Vietnam dog, but
yeah.
you would think that maybe he's like targeting drivers, or you know what I mean. I mean, because I've seen those. I've seen those the big dogs that when you like enter, like you see them a lot in Thailand. You're driving your car and then like you see like hound dogs like at you. You
Well,
know.
it's here we try to run an insurance scam. So dogs are smart. They're trying to,
Are we
he'll take a
drinking
fake
beer through
roll
this?
and
Are we drinking beer through this, or are we not?
definitely. This is, I think you
Did you
brought this
get your
up. This is
beer?
beer, not coffee. I don't actually drink beer, but Ethan is definitely our beer drinker
No,
representing the world.
we're not
So,
doing this. So it's either all in or no one's in. I actually got myself a
uh,
Guinness, so
oh, nice,
but I
nice.
also have
Well,
water,
you
so I'm
carry
just
on.
gonna.
I live on an air intoxication that is, you know, not normal by any means. But hopefully, Ethan drinks this. He may already have gotten a little started and now can't find the link. So I say with
Oh,
that, just for the sake of time, let me kick us off. So welcome to the conversation where we unpack the wild, interconnected chaos shaping our world, including the population's decline and all the reasons for it. Your host Joe Edgar and hopefully Ethan Kronk will be joining us here shortly. Today we're joined by Bezalel Eithan Raviv, founder of LIionsGate.Network, a blockchain forensics firm helping victims recover stolen crypto. He aims to disrupt global fraud networks and has blocked millions of crypto to Hamas with a background from Israel's elite unit 8200, music, and raising millions for Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's tackling the 53 billion US crypto fraud market. Appreciate you joining us today, Bazel, and you're in Tel Aviv today.
right now I'm in Paris actually for meetings,
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, yeah, and just for the sake of pronunciation, just call me B. I always say to my friends in America, call me
B,
B,
B.
and
I
save yourself
appreciate it.
all the trouble, really.
I appreciate it. I'm sure I was thinking about this. I was even practicing. I was like, I'm gonna butcher this name, but I'm gonna do my best.
You butchered this from
And
all.
you're
I
like,
mean,
yeah, you did a great
I,
job
I,
butchering it.
I was just ready to report this, like we have another pig butchering here.
I hope we get into pig butchering, which is an odd name because it really should be,
It is a very odd
like
name. It's a horrible name. Yeah, it's a horrible name.
beauty and love is what they seem to
Yeah.
do with it more.
I'm just saying, when you don't have good writers, you have awful scripts and awful titles, and pig butchering is just one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you were born in Tel Aviv?
I was born in Tiberias, on the lake of
Really?
Galilee. Yeah, the famous lake of Galilee,
Wow.
Jesus Christ walking on water. That's the view from my parents' porch. Beautiful area north of Israel,
Yeah.
all the way. Yeah,
Siblings?
yeah. I'm the youngest of 12.
Really? Wow. I'm
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of 13 myself. So
Oh
so you're the
wow.
baby. I'm more in the middle. As we
Oh
actually did
wow.
an episode where we talk about we brought in a psychologist and he
Yeah.
ranked us or told us all about where your birth order
Oh
matters.
yeah.
But
I
one
mean,
of 13, nice.
sandwich kids are, tend to be like the more the one that's trying to prove a point in life. Where
Hmm.
the youngest are like just rebels, the disruptors, which makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
So to your mother, you actually did walk on water then. You're the baby.
I didn't actually. I didn't. I've attempted it
Ooh,
a few times, exactly where
gotcha.
it's known to be the Christ place. It's called the village of Nahum, just above a beautiful church. Um, yeah, beautiful area, almost preserved. I would say the same way from 2025 years ago.
Nice. But you sunk every time. Is that what you're saying? The
I actually did
same place?
drown, and I did drown. It
Wow.
wasn't a it wasn't a beautiful experience.
Wow. Now, you've growing up with your sibling, I imagine you've got to compare a little bit. You joined the unit 8200. When I say join, I've been to Tel Aviv a couple of times. I know very well they recruit very young. Conscription's a bit different. Americans, we don't have conscription. So, a couple of things. One, how did that experience go getting into Unit 8200? And two, it's interesting there that, I've been a venture capitalist for quite a few years of my life. And working with Israeli entrepreneurs is a different experience because you find really young, mature entrepreneurs.
Mm,
And you don't find that in the US. It's almost
mm,
like this conscription helps, I don't know, put things in perspective much earlier in
mm.
your life where you say, okay, I got things together. I wish, honestly, I could do it for my oldest two kids. Like, I think it would have helped them a lot, save them a few years of kind of trying to figure things out. But, if you can't give us a
Yeah,
little flavor of what that experience was.
sure, sure. I mean, two good points. I mean, for me, I was, infatuated with music from early on, and music is very mathematical, right? So I loved, how I could hear mathematics through music as a child, and I really was drawn to it. And the best mathematical contemporary music is in fact pop. And I'm in
Mhm.
the 80s, right? So the best mathematical melodies are by Duran Duran, Madonna, Michael Jackson, mathematical equations, perfectly produced by real good musicians. That's actually what makes a piece, something that you want to listen to it over and over again. So I love the math in music. And when they offered me to join the unit, I was like, why would I do that? Like, I really wanted to find a
Had
way.
any of your siblings been in there?
Oh, family members, yeah, not close, like not immediate siblings, but yes, we have few family members with intelligence, and obviously they recommended it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to buy it. I'm actually a musician, and I don't know why I would want to fix the world cybercrime. It's like not for me. I want performances. I want good mathematical
And for
equations.
Americans, this is like Harvard. So this is our,
Right.
elite school of sorts.
Never thought of it like this, but I was like, I was not keen to join. And I think it was either I will, you know, run to New York before they get me and start a music career. Uh, because I used to sing with a choir, but like to do it on my own or to join choir. triggered a smile
You're
with
a
you.
choir boy with pop in his head. I get it. Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. I'm thinking about Jerusalem and Zion, and I'm like thinking, Material Girl and Billie Jean. It's like I had to fake it through the process. I think it was a beautiful time, and it gave me a lot. Um, but intelligence for me was never like a thing. Like what an army again. Like it's like I was really outside that sphere. So I didn't fled to New York. So I actually stayed for the service, and it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't phenomenal. It was okay because I really disconnected myself from like I'm not you guys. Like I'm separated from this. I'm not gonna do what you guys do, but eventually you're involved because you are
Right.
playing same ball on same court. Um, and obviously it's very branched out, right? It's like gated base where a lot of people do a lot of things. I think most of the people that I knew there turned into, bringing about a unicorn company through a development of this or that. And I'm like, there are better things in life. And for me, again, it was music, music, music. And I mean, that was my whole experience. Like, I was so involved with this. So, um, and then of course, right after the
Now,
service is
your
over,
guitar or you're mixing
oh no,
music
no,
in there?
no, 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 no. I also said I'm not gonna play any instrument because I'm not like I don't have that gift. Like I don't have cognition,
Ah,
motoric. I'm not fluent there. For me, it was melody, lyrics. Speaking of copyrights and copy, and performance. So I had like this, like I said, that's my avenue, and that's where I'm going to, delve in completely. And yeah, so the
gotcha.
moment
More
the service
composing
is
music.
over, composing, yeah, composition
Yeah.
again. That's the math. That was for me like
I see.
the top of the level kind of generation to something, right? You generate something, and there's a lot of inspiration to it. I mean, there's a lot of like nothingness to it in music, right? It's air. Most of it is like air. Intellectual properties, they call it, because it's from here. It's not like I mean, all the facilitators are great, but I said I'm very much up with like all of a sudden you have a melody and then you build it. It's a very intimate process, and for me that was it was like the beauty about it, right?
Were any of your parents a family musical, or
Yeah, my
this
mom.
was your
Yeah,
thing to kind of set you apart?
so my mom is incredibly musical. She sings all the time. I remember her singing through, making the dishes.
I don't know. This is sounding more like you walk on water for your mother. This is definitely.
I don't know. I don't know. Really, I don't know. Um, Um, I think that I heard music all the time. I mean, I loved some music, and I think some of the music that I heard was not very musical to me. For instance, like Arabic music from the 40s and 30s. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me, and I'm going to switch the volume down, right, little by little, so no one will notice it. Because if you plug it and then you hear someone screaming, why did you do that, right? So you kind of like, okay, let me just carefully tune this down so I don't have to hear it. For me, it wasn't very musical. Uh, in reference to again American pop, which for me was like incredibly musical, mathematical. Same thing, the same M's, and I was drawn to it. I really fell in love with American culture through music, and it made sense to me. It made sense to me. Things that I couldn't, disguise, or I couldn't understand. I understood through music that came from the same land you're from.
Now, pop music, you love it, but that music, that rhythm, that math, did that end up benefiting you all once you were in the unit? Did you use that as far as, uh, did you enjoy the unit?
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me because I said whatever I'm going to do, I'm not going to. ride on anyone's rails. And in order to succeed with the unit, you have to surrender you to give someone else what they need. I said, I'm not going to do that. So I was full of resistance. And I've experienced it again like a satellite, right? I saw what they're doing and I said, that in a million years, it couldn't be me. So I took what I took and I left the majority of it, right? Because, I think it's inherent in me to, the freedom to express yourself and to be who you are is, I think, the most important version of anyone. And that takes a lot of work, right? You don't get you on day one because they said as we come to the world, we forget who we are. And now we need to learn who we are in the process of life. And maybe on your last day, you kind of, oh, I know I'm here. So for me, it's like, you know what? This is what I'm going to dedicate myself to. And I think the authentic voice that I'm trying to build with myself, even through everything that I do, with LIionsGate.Network, with Hallelujah, the previous project, with anything that I've done, I was trying to find me in me. And it takes a lot of focus and
So
takes a
82
lot of,
unit was your crucifix, and you getting out was your rebirth. Is that?
I don't think I'm at rebirth yet. I think I have
Oh, nice.
yeah, I think I'm still in the, I would say the golem phase. I'm still trying to understand things. Most of it is not clear to me, to be honest with you. Most of it is unknown to me.
You still
I
close
know,
with your siblings?
oh yeah, as much as I can, I think the people that get the most attention from me are actually clients. They get more attention from me than any of my siblings because I've made a pact with myself. You know what I mean? Like, and it's perfectly
Uh,
fine. It doesn't feel like a sacrifice to me. Maybe it will in 20 years from now. But for now,
right.
it's like it's my choice every day.
Right. Now, what's the span between all 13 of you? Do you know?
We are 12.
Oh, 12 of you, right? Okay.
You are the
And what's this?
13th.
Right. Yeah. I was trying to think of my own span. I think there's about 23 years between all 13 of us.
Yeah, I'm very bad with this kind of calculations. So we have roughly 25 years. Uh,
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
That's about the same. So
roughly
your mom, I mean, basically every
1 to 1
2 to
year.
3 years, your mother was pregnant.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, 18 months. I think I would say 18 months even. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I,
I
I
mean, it's the
think
heart of this. Oh, go ahead.
no, I'm just thinking about what you said, and I'm like, is it the thing that I really wanted the most growing up is quiet space. I wanted to be on my own, and I prayed the world will freeze and I'll be able to just walk and I will see no one. I mean, I think it was like my concept of a perfect world is something like the moon because there's no one there. So they say. So I'm like, this would be my perfect, and actually got to have it. Dreams do come true. I got to have it during COVID. And I said,
Oh,
that's what I
really?
dreamt of. That's what I'm getting what I want,
Well,
you see?
the baby often gets a little time where they're an only child, right? They get a couple of years as an older teen that they're an only child.
And
It didn't happen, huh? So
now,
were you older child like a little bit of spoiled, or were you still hand me downs? Because I was head deep in hand me downs. I was one who went to school and learned that girl jeans don't have pockets in the back because everybody let me know. So,
yeah. Um, you learn many things through the understanding that there's no one for you. You become very egoistic, by the way. You become extremely egoistic because no one relies on you. Because they say,
because you're the baby.
yeah, we are here to give to you. So imagine I got it
Mm,
amplified 11 times.
all right.
And I'm like, at some point, obviously, I mean, it took me a while to understand that I really need to get away from that cycle because that cycle is not great. It's cute when you're 3 years old with curls, but when you are 18 years old, not so cute. So I'm like,
To really
okay,
establish yourself, find your own
yeah,
thing, which you were talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Well, let's dive into some of this crypto. What got you on that path? You were in Unit 8200. It wasn't for you. You loved music. You loved pop. You loved the American culture. You went to the U.S. What kind of? I mean, crypto's definitely a new thing. In that
right.
time, uh, you know, Bitcoin was the new thing to fight the Fed at the moment. What kind of got you into this, and what's kept you in it?
I think one of the most sensitive topics throughout my life is money. Money. Um, it
You have a
was,
mixed relationship with money, or
I don't anymore. I think this is my contribution now because I don't. That's why I'm so nuclear with this project. I fixed my problems through money, but I had major problems with money. First of all, the illusion of control. Growing up where there is not abundant of it, and I'm always seeing more. So I'm seeing the neighbor's garden greener all the time.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't feel very good about this. I found myself growing up with a gap in how I perceive money and how I perceive myself with or without it. And it really impacted me. It impacted me tremendously. I think,
I mean, let me dive in there. I mean, I grew up pretty impecunious myself, and so
mhm.
definitely I grew up on a reservation poor. Is that what you mean? Where you just grew up, your parents were struggling all the time, your family was struggling. I mean, give me a heart of what you mean. Seeing the neighbors, garden more green than
So
yours,
we
where the
had,
struggle comes from.
yeah, we had very unique neighbors. We had next door neighbors are from Finland, who is the father is on a
Hmm,
mission with the UN in Lebanon, and they're driving a Benz, which is the only one in the
I
neighborhood,
see.
and they live the life of a beautiful couple with incredible kids from Suomi, which is the land of Finland. So that's my next door neighbors, right?
So literally,
Imagine,
their garden was greener. I see.
yeah, like the house of 14 souls and a house of 4 souls, and very different. Like there's only a wall between us, but that's where I actually heard the first music from the US. That's because
Hmm.
I'm at a religious house where there is the radio on and whatever they play, Hebrew music. And there's like parallel universe. And
Right.
across there are Germans that are living in a beautiful cottage house that have made Aliyah, which is the migration to Israel as part of the Holocaust correction thing. So there are group of uh, nuns and group of and I mean this is so peculiar for the and this is my my 200 meters. And I'm seeing things that are very different. I'm seeing different perceptions, and I'm saying, and then I know how to box myself immediately, right? Around 7, I already know what it means to be me and what it means to be them and what it means to be them. Like I'm already positioning myself, and my positioning is not that striking in my eyes. So I'm like already being like pushed to get more, and money is in fact an introducer. I mean, for me as the youngest, like I think for me the bounty is to get money as a young kid. Like if I have money, the first time I saw the blue or purple, memory is funny, bill that represents 5 shekels, it's like
Mm,
that's it. If you get this, you're on the right track. You need to get this one.
I see. I see.
Um, so speaking about crypto and why crypto met me and I met it, and why blockchain um, was an interception in my life, because a good interception, a needed one, is because when you think about how you can achieve freedom, when I when I heard about what blockchain is, which is the foundation to crypto, I said, I get this. And it's perfect for me because I'm not a believer in custodianship. I'm not a believer in banks. I'm not a believer in system that says, give us the freedom and we'll give it back to you. Maybe. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. And that's why I always had troubles with my bank account because the management was very poor from my end. And I've been, I've been, I've been met with an entity that says, we'll help you put yourself in debt. And I'm like, this is maybe working for you as an intro, but once you are there, you're like, okay, this is actually the worst thing that I could do because the pain of debt for me and the implication that comes with it, and I've experienced it at age of 31, is incredible. I mean, a lot of people are in debt and they take it easy. I was very close to losing my sanity when I realized that I needed to leave my house because I couldn't, keep up with the debt.
Well, debt is an ongoing thing. I mean, we just covered a couple of shows ago, what is the ongoing growth of debt of millennials versus X versus
Right.
seniors. And I think it was
Right.
just student debt alone is over 40, it's like
Right.
45,000, just student debt. So,
Yeah.
so that's definitely there. And you're saying kind of the banking institution being commercialized has an alternative, incentive than just holding your money. That's why you're saying blockchain drove you to that. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about blockchain. Blockchain, many don't think it, they think it stands. I mean, it is an independent, it doesn't need an institution, but it has a great accounting system. Can you walk us through kind of, the measures of accountability as far as blockchain goes?
So first of all, blockchain is asset management, essentially, where you are the custodian and there is no bank in your world and you become that bank. And if you decided to lose control of that key to the bank, that bank is no longer yours. So it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And there is like a shift in consciousness, really. That's how I see it. Between what we were in the 80s. I've lived through the 80s. You've lived through the 80s. We know how it felt, how money felt, how value felt, how banks felt. And we know how it feels today. If you ask me today to open up a new bank account,
Hot pink, tube tops. Now are it's all
right?
digital. Instagram.
Yeah, like exactly. No service, no support. So basically, today banks try to mimic blockchain by not helping you at all. So the custodian of what used to be the helper
That's
is
what they
like,
thought the value add was.
exactly. Like today, you cannot dispute any fraudulent activity with your bank account. They will mentor you through hell, but not get you back the money. So there is a perception that we as a human species had gone through incredibly fast, 25 years only. 25 years only. I've went through that. I know how it feels. And blockchain is the introducer of forget everyone in your life. Now you are the boss. And to be a boss comes with a lot of responsibilities. And there is like a golden era that unfortunately a lot of people losing their life and assets because of the buffer time, right? Like there is like a learning curve and people feel it. And these are the people that we speak with at LIionsGate.Network. We speak with people that really didn't get it yet. They thought that once you have Bitcoin, that is the end of the road. In fact, it's only the beginning.
All right.
It's
I mean,
only the beginning.
there are so many. I mean, in the intro, I mentioned a 53 billion, scam network. But
A year, a
one thing I
year.
didn't know, until preparing for this, I wasn't aware that seniors are one of the, by numbers, they're the fewest, but by dollar amount average, they are the highest. That means that if you get a senior, someone over 60, it's almost $3 billion a year, just the seniors alone. I didn't realize they were so into crypto, but they seem to be most victim. What's the scam?
The
Pork and
pig butchering.
yeah, the pig butchering. It's almost like a love nature, but maybe you can break us down some of these common fraud tactics. Because even this morning, they caught another guy who was part of the kidnapping. So they caught him, but now we have wrenching is involved. As this term is gone, we're severing fingers, we're kidnapping, we're holding hostage because blockchain's so secure. The only way to get that other token is now physically. So it's changed from a cyber crime to an actual physical crime. But give us a little flavor of some of those, fraud methods that are happening, in the world today.
So this is the thing. Most of the people that fall for crypto-related crime are not so much interested in crypto at all. Period. 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 They funnel them through crypto
Oh, I
to send them
see.
money because
see.
bank wires are more problematic. So they tell you this. So let's talk about the back end here for a moment, shall we? Blockchain is very secured, right?
Right.
What's not so secured? The breach that we see over and over again is with victims' behavior. They hack their behavior, their pattern of behavior. That's what they
I mean,
hack.
give me an example. Let's hack me. Let's hack me.
All right. You'll be an easy one. So
Yeah. I already know that. We can help you with your vet bill. I'll be like, damn, where do I sign up? What can I give?
So basically, this is the thing. You must understand that this is like social engineering, but it's done by organized crime and organized entities. Okay.
Even the cartel, Mexican drug cartel, are all over in this. I mean, it's become
Yeah.
Nigerian companies are set up around it. It's going
Right.
crazy.
Right. But this is even more white collar. I don't want to even associate it with
Gotcha.
drugs because the moment you say drugs, it's like, okay, those Colombians.
Right.
No,
Right.
it could be from like offices that are tidy and clean with 5 cleaners a day. And you'll have people that are sitting in offices that
This is a
are,
profession. 53
it is a
billion is a
profession. Yes,
monstrous
it is a
industry,
profession.
right?
Exactly. And they basically social engineer victims. How do they do that? So where do people interact today? Do they interact in street corners, in bars, and
Mostly
discotheques?
online, right?
Online, right?
Right.
So online, let's break it down. You have the social medias, right? The meta platforms. You have the TikToks. You have the LinkedIn's, right? For professionals, and you have the romance places where you hope to
Right.
hit
Well,
right.
I was even on Twitter showing my son yesterday where waiting for the vet. I was like, do you see, like almost 90% of my new followers are bots because there's some sexy girl like making some weird pose. I
Right.
was like, that's not a real person. That's a Russian bot just trying to follow me. Here's another bot. So I can see what you mean. Where
It's like mosquitoes. You'll kill 10, 20 will come
right.
because that is the landscape, right? The landscape is so corrupted and tinted at this point, just like crypto. Crypto is heavily tinted. So at this point, you want to say, okay, so I'm interacting. How many hours do you spend a day with your phone?
Oh, this is
Don't
bad.
confess. Don't
I have a
confess.
Twitter addiction. Let's
Okay.
leave it at
Okay.
that.
Wonderful. All right. So without confessing, because you know how much time and all of us are addicted. Okay. If you have this fella, you're addicted some way, this way or another, you're addicted. Now, as you spend time scrolling through videos and liking posts, you will see that you could be finding people that will say, oh, I loved your post, and everything about their profile will be extremely believable, right? and you will start a real interaction. There is a playbook for this, right? There is a playbook for this. And the first collateral is to take you from the platform to communication platform like WhatsApp or Telegram or text messaging, right? Right. So there is someone that is their job. That's their first job is just to take you to a communication platform outside where you are actually. And this is where they already have 50% of the power because this is their domain.
So
They've taken you out.
So for me, some pretty girl profile hit me up and said,
Yeah.
"Oh, that was a really great post." I get hit with this,
Right.
boost of endorphins. That's like,
Right.
"Oh, you're appreciating me. This is great." And all of a
Right.
sudden, we have a conversation. She's
You have a
DMing me, and we're
conversation,
talking.
and then she's grooming you. This is now the grooming period, which can take even 90 days. 90 days of grooming, and you wouldn't suspect anything because it feels so good.
Gotcha.
Every once in a while, she will send you a
Sounds like a
photo.
tariff negotiation.
This is incredible word because this is the biggest hidden tariff upon Americans that is not discussed in Washington, D.C. and not being treated by MAGA. This is the
That's a
real
good point.
world. This is the best point, in fact, because you're going after maybe the wrong guys. Maybe you have a smoke and mirror event here, guys. So I would say to the people of MAGA, don't forget that there is something that you don't think exists. This is the
Well,
existence of
I
it.
want you to finish. Let's keep hacking me because I want
Right.
to bring this back and talk
Right.
about how the
Right.
Trump
So 90
administration shut
days.
down CNET and a few other things.
Right. So 90,
So 90
days you
days,
are
I'm
being
talking
groomed.
to him. I'm getting friendly.
Right. And she's incredible and she's so lovable. You spend more time with her than you actually spend with your two dogs. Your dog wants you to take him to the vet and you'll say, wait, I'm actually with Christine. You'll
Yes.
deal. It will heal. It will heal. And you're with her. You're investing a lot of time.
Yes.
I'm talking about hundreds of hours together. At this point, she's like, listen, maybe I didn't want to share this with you actually, but now I feel very good to share this with you. I feel very comfortable to tell you that I'm actually
Christine is confiding in me now. Oh,
yes, exactly. You get it. And she's giving you something very precious. She's telling you, I actually found a loophole from this enslaved world.
She's
of
the one who
ours.
hit my dog.
Right. Now that's
Sorry,
Scorsese for me. See, like that's I want to stay in the
Yes,
the
please,
James
please.
Cameron.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, she said just send 200 or 1,000, depends on how she already understood your financial background.
Gotcha.
Right?
So this is her kind of saying like, listen, I'm in a really hard spot right now. Someone also hit my dog. And then I'm like, oh, I felt the pain. So she's like, can you just send me a couple $100 for the vet bill?
Okay, no. She's not doing that. This is poor serving. This is poor serving because the moment you send money, that is the only money she will take from you. No, she has a lot of she had a lot of prospects for you, and the prospect is a way to start investing in something that she's familiar with that you aren't, and you start investing with her. And this is like a mutual investment platform where she puts money, but it's only pixels on a fake platform. And you put money and you see through your eyes that you believe so much because you were born with your eyes.
So she actually convinced me to become the crypto person. All of a sudden I'm introduced to this crypto world.
She teaches you. She's giving you real education. And
she does care for me. I mean, I already feel a connection to Christine, so I can see why I'm like, hey,
exactly. But I have to make that face, right? I have to make that face now.
Right.
I mean, love her, but
you haven't met her yet. If you had just understood, how genuine she is.
But I know because I've interviewed scammers too. So everything we know about the company is through scammers. We have interviewed them in backdoor way. We had gone through the scamming process. And they thought that we are the victim. So for us, again, remember, I mean, I took something from 8 to 100, right? I mean, something I took. And the basic of it is to understand the mechanism. If you understand the mechanism, you can intercept it. If you don't understand the mechanism, you're just, bluffing. Okay. which is
Now her
unfortunate.
start is to get me. Is it an
Of
investment
course,
first to say let's
yes.
invest in this together? Let's do it together. So
But
we're.
remember,
I'm not giving her money. I'm just saying, hey, I'm watching
she
this
takes
crypto. Let's see.
90 days to do that, between 45
Yeah,
to 90 days to do that. It's not an immediate.
gotcha.
By the time she speaks about money, she knows you're almost ready. Okay. And then you start seeing you put $1,000 in a fake trading platform. And all of a sudden, because of this, Christine, you all of a sudden, you've made 20% interest.
Ah, so now they show it as going up. So I put 200 in. I put 1,000. Now it's going up. So I'm like, hey, Christine,
Y-
not only do you care so much about me, but you've led me to this gold mine of an investment.
Exactly. And then you put your
Sounds like a really
401.
good girl. I gotta find my son someone like this. This is
For the sake of the listeners, don't find her, because eventually, and
she'll
that's the
find
real
you.
thing, she'll find you.
I like it.
Uh, right. Now, a lot of people find it very sexy, and they find it the best Las Vegas of their time. You know, they don't want to take a flight to Las Vegas. You know, they find it. There's a lot of exhilaration, because remember, she didn't hack your wallet; she hacked
Right.
you.
I willingly participated in this, right?
Exactly. So you have a huge concrete door, and you are the one with the password, and she convinced you to open up for her, and that's the
Right.
end of the
So
game.
I think everything's safe. She's just a great person who understands me and point me. So does she convince me to add more as this starts to increase?
It's not a convincing mechanism. It's like, listen, if we've done so much, what do you think about? I'm thinking about putting another 100K. Now
Oh
you
man. So
remember that.
I come up with this idea now because I'm like, there's an opportunity. Why am I not taking advantage of this?
Exactly.
I
She is a
see.
magician. She is a magician of performance. So you know, when
Now
people clap to
tell us
magician.
what's going on the back here. On the back, why is it going up? I mean, because that's part of this
Oh, it's
gig as
not
well,
going
right?
up. The numbers are going up. I can share a screen with you, and I can put numbers on a screen, and I will tell you, oh, that's what you have right now. But
So it's all
these
artificial.
softwares, yeah, of course, these softwares,
Yep.
their mechanism is built on artificial intel that is based on nothing at all. It's like a video game.
Right.
Enough?
Yep. So I'm
Enough.
now so there. I mean, basically, it's artificially going up. I've convinced myself I should put another 100,000 in this because it's like, man, we turned $200 to 1,000. I could turn $100,000 into 1,000,000. Why would I not take advantage of this? Whatever
Exactly.
this crypto
Why
world is, I hear about all these crypto
I
billionaires. It's
should
like I
borrow
got to get in
money?
on this.
I should borrow
I
money.
can trust Christine.
You want
I've
to
seen her
do
one
everything.
profile picture. She looks honest.
But you don't remember it at this point because she already hacked you.
Ah,
Because if you take it back, it wouldn't be logical to you. But because you are already intercepted in a malicious way,
ah.
you don't even remember the building points to where you are. That's that's the mechanism. Now,
Now,
this is happening.
how does she ultimately get the money? I mean, show me the scam because I know a lot of people end
You're
up
not
in
sending
an embarrassing.
you're not sending money to a platform. You're sending money to the wallet of the organized crime.
Ah, ah.
So
So
while
the
you
whole
send it,
time I've actually been giving them money, and this
yeah,
is really like the old Ponzi scheme where they're giving me fake accounting. I'm actually
right,
have already given the money, so they already took it,
right,
but I think it's still there, so I keep
right.
adding in because I think it's
True.
growing, and they're
And
gonna
at the
play it.
same time, they reflect the numbers on the screen. So you actually believe the lie because it's so intuitive.
So it's not until I try to get the money do I realize
You
there's
can
nothing
get
there.
even the money because there are test withdrawal that they will allow dependent on how they
Ah,
profiled you. So they can even send you money to your bank account and you will see it coming from them. So this
mm.
is a very tight mechanism.
This is to get me to dig deeper because now I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
of
it's
course.
look. I told you, Christine's an amazing person. All right, see, she whatever she sent me with, I got the money out. I can withdraw anytime. I feel free. I'll put my entire 401k there. I'll put my entire IRA there. So then I move everything there.
Which you have to pay tax for, remember. So this
Right.
is double-edged sword. You're getting the money for a scam, and then IRS wants your money as well. So this is a huge problem. It's a huge problem because it's a very strong punch in the US Valley. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that have gone through these experiences are the one that needs real protection, and they don't have it. Because remember I said that this is like we're entering into the golden age, but just like Exodus, not everyone is coming to the promised land. A lot of
Right.
people are going to be filtered out. And this is the filtering out right now. We are going to grow stronger from this. But what we are trying to do with LIionsGate.Network is to, and it shows a little bit of a resistance, to be honest with you, but there's nothing else I would do in the world today, is to give people the option to make that choice before it's too late. Because once
So
you've
set it
sent,
up in advance. Right.
yeah,
Once the money's out, it's over.
it's not over. Once the money is out, then there is a complex recovery journey where we need law enforcement to interact. Right? That's recovery.
Right.
That's recovery. Recovery,
Okay.
first of all, can never be guaranteed by anyone in the world, even if you're the son of Trump, right?
Right.
It cannot be, and you must have law enforcement engaged with the case. So two of these assets are very, very important when we speak about recovery. Recovery is one of the most complex operations out there when it comes to finance, because
And I
you
assume
need,
there's a timing.
not necessarily, because
Oh,
sometimes,
really?
let me reveal a few things. First of all, organized crimes related to crypto is very comfortable. When they scam people, they know that their biggest challenge will be to find an ally in recovery. Because most of the time, this is what they do. I'm going to give you another chapter of this book, okay? I'm actually writing a book about this. So
Nice.
another chapter is the fake recovery.
For me, it's probably going to be chapter 7 that you bring up, Joe. Chapter
Honestly,
7 or chapter 11. After I've given Christine all my money.
yeah. We'll also have the prevention part, which is the intro to the book, which is the most important part. So once you realize that you got scammed, you're not going to send more money, right? Because they have introduced too many red flags and you're out. And you say to them, I'm actually thinking at this point that you, Christine, have effed me up. I don't know what to do now, but
Oh, no.
I'm
Not Christine.
disconnecting.
She wouldn't do it. Not my Christine. No.
I really feel that you're falling for this Christine and she's not even in the room. I think.
Where can I wire the money? Just tell me. Just tell me where. I'm done.
She will probably ask you to open up a Coinbase account as a person
Yes.
from Houston. This is the most go-to wallet by scammers in the US that
Oh, really?
work with you.
Houston?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Texas?
I'm here in Austin,
Texas?
so I wonder why Texas become a
Biggest state, first of all. You win with numbers.
Mm.
So anyway, so where were we? Because you brought Christine in a romantic like interlude there.
You were cleaning up how we get recovery and the process and time that is involved in it. It doesn't necessarily need to be time, but you have to get police involved.
You were very good. So
I mess people up all the time. I have to remember where I left them off.
That's good. That's good. So basically, they count on you not to do the right thing because you've been so like unimpressive, right? They scammed you. So what they would do, the second they will switch hat from fake recovery platform that now you know that this is the case to a fake recovery service, and they will give you a call.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. They will give you a call and they will tell you, oh, we've actually from the Blockchain Institute, XYZ, and we've traced your funds. We have freezed everything that this scammer took, and we are ready to send the money back to you. However, there is a small tax of 20%, which you need to pay in order for us. And when the moment you paid, then there is, oh, that money actually did not reach to the wallet. You've made a mistake. You need to pay additional.
Oh, my goodness.
So this is where it becomes really serious, right? We don't laugh about this, Jeff.
It is awful. I only mean that So these poor people have been victims and now think someone has come to save them, and they're getting hit again and
Again,
again. It's awful.
again. And then something beautiful happens. You know what happens? They take a big breath and they say, now I need to take control. This is the serious part. They take control and they wake up different because they've paid an incredible due to
It's a huge
remember.
tuition cost to learn about this.
Yes, it is a huge tuition cost, but in their case, it was a necessary one, unfortunately. And they wake up and they say, now I want to find a way to correct this wrong. Hello.
Yeah, there's a couple of
It's so cute. You know, I love them at
dogs
this
are not the
age,
only one.
but I love them at this age. This is the cutest age of the Mickey Mouse, not
Yes.
the Mickey Mouse, the Tom and Jerry. Like these are the perfect age where you can mess around with them, and when they're scratching, and it's not too awful.
Yes, he's
So
now learned the keyboard, so he can shut us off anytime. That's where it's like, okay,
right. He's the programmer. He's the
all right. We were
Python.
going serious, talking about really the
Yeah,
victims
yeah.
themselves
They
and
wake
what
up.
they're faced with.
Right. The moment they
Because I
wake up,
imagine they're faced with a little embarrassment. They are already thought they were getting help by somebody, but now they're faced with, like I've been
right.
scammed again.
Yeah. And then they wake up. And the moment they wake up, their life actually begin to change because, um, this is not only about scammers. It says a lot about also their relationship with themselves. You see what I mean? When
Right.
you wake up, and everyone has to wake up at some point, right? One is with passing of someone. One is with incredible physical pain. One, so we all
So
wake up
this
at
is the
some
coming
point.
to Jesus moment.
You can say that. You can say that because you surrender. So the mechanism of I know all of a sudden has been demolished. You start from I don't know actually, and then you start to look for help. That's why when people come to us and we do video conferences just like this one with everyone, it's a very profound moment.
I imagine it's a very solemn, very,
Yes.
humbling, therapeutic, very serious. I
Yes.
would not be invited on one of those calls.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't think I could keep it. Although, I would have to convince you, Christine is still. This isn't my Christine.
Right. But when you come to us, actually yesterday we have
I've
spoken
already
with a
learned.
client. Yeah, actually sometimes they don't know. And that's why we also generate campaigns to say, have you been asked to pay 20% on your
Mm.
you've been scammed. So sometimes people do not know and they actually believe that they just lost the money in a bad trade or they don't know. They actually don't know. Um, I'm afraid to tell you that the majority, because of the good work scammers do, they don't know. They believe
Mm.
that the money was lost. Okay. And this is a huge pandemic and it's tinting the entire crypto. I'm giving you like, let's get out or get up a little bit. This is tempting this is a huge black tint in the space of crypto because crypto and blockchain are the next phase for the financial
Well,
sector.
let's jump in there because that's really down to the Genius Act. I mean, we didn't touch much on, and I'll just skip over it, but we talked about it once, a couple episodes about the meme coin, Trump's meme coin, Melania's meme coin, how much money they have made, their transaction fees. His son, World Liberty Financial, has put together a stable coin. They got $2 billion from the Saudis to kind of back it. They're, just did an Asia tour to really put a lot of Middle East tour to put a lot of money behind it. A lot of things coming. And so we touch on those, for sure. There's been some scams and a lot of money and some of it right in front of our face. And it's not illegal or a scam. I put those out there to kind of skip over them quickly because one thing that is coming out is the Genius Act. And I do follow the Genius Act because my last company I started was involved in rent. We did rent collection for the country. And when you're collecting, we did billions and billions in rent collection. to really build. A lot of people don't know to move money in the United States takes 2 to 5 days. There's notcha files. They're literally just text files. When they find out the infrastructure around how the biggest economy in the world moves, it's ridiculous on how bad it is. But it's something you can't just shut down and change. And the Genius Act does bring in a few things to help people, listeners, understand where the Genius Act is going to be. It's going to allow banks to run a stable coin at a 1-to-1 ratio, which means they have to have the equivalent of coin that they're issuing. They have to have US dollars 100% representing it. And the pros behind it I love, but there are some cons. So I just want to, put those out there and get your take on this. The pros, in my opinion, are that Stripe is a technology company that has come along and been able to bring a lot of tech on top of this old clunky ACH system that moves money, and it's so bad. Wiring money can be done instantly, but you have no idea where it goes, and once it's gone there, it's over. Right? So a bank transaction, they've made it so bad that even when you have fraud, you can't pull it back. And so moving money just goes so slow, 2 to 5 days, because the merchant bank from the transaction has to be moved, and so it takes forever. Where if banks were allowed to get into this, we could move money very fast. I mean, you literally could have, instead of a bank account, you could have your own coin. It could be Joe coin, and we could have B coin, and I could send it to you, and it'd be 1-to-1, and it would make a transaction immediately. And it would give a lot of people flexibility to even take on the credit card companies. Because now I can move money to you with a very small transaction fee as opposed to 3%. And, crypto could, instead of being an asset, it could be a currency in this. So I love that part of the Genius Act. I think that's such a nice movement in the right direction because it's not hurting the US currency. You are not investing in an alternative currency. It's really it's basically a digital paper check. What is the paper check? They're making it now digital. And that's what the 1-to-1, it's really to allow all these transactions. That's how I see it. So I think it's very empowering, but there are so many scams out there. So the banks themselves, we had a bank, where was he out of? He invested almost 34 million of a local bank, all in crypto, through an exact scam we just talked about. He found his Christine. He was going to, bring the community a lot of money. They took everything. We now have a lot of people getting duped. They're literally committing suicide on the name of, we had one who invested in the most recent meme coins. And, he committed suicide on a recording. And so,
Wow.
so we're also seeing kind of a lot of scams that could come from it. But I'd love to just hear your take on, the movement that's going on there. I know there's some positives, but there's some negatives. And what are some things we should all be, cognizant of as we start to move in this market? At the same time, and we're throwing a lot in here at the end,
Right.
is we have introduced legislation to go in a direction that we believe is going to be very big. Our president's own sons, Whitcroft, who is negotiating across his son mixed with them, they're all
Exactly.
putting together a lot of money for crypto. There's a huge movement on it. We have hired a crypto czar. Sachs is now a venture capitalist who has said, I'm going to sell off most of my stake, even though his funds still own a lot of his crypto investments. And then we're shutting down all the regulators. So very packed, few questions,
Right.
comments
Right.
in there. But I'd love to just hear
Yeah.
your take on, unloading a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot in what you said. So I'll try to unpack it one by one. Whatever the Trump administration is doing was done by any administration before. There is only judgment because he is very transparent. So people come at him at Zachary Whitaker and Trump's son and everyone else. So I say yes, but it's kind of ironic because everyone else had done it before. I mean, take it back. I mean, you get the power to do something with it. And I don't know of any king or any ruler or any leader that is not taking advantage of the system they're in. It is a natural habitat for them to do it. Is it great? I don't know. I've never had that much power, so I can't tell you. So I would look at this from this angle. They're building, they're creating, they're issuing a new token. What do you expect them to do? To retire? This is now
Right.
their time,
Right.
right?
So really you're saying it's better we at least know what's going on because everyone was lying. I think we had a show, but Ethan
Exactly.
would totally agree with you right now.
Wonderful. So that's one. Secondly, I would say regulator. Which regulator? The regulators that are not doing anything as they getting paid with tax money and they're left the arena completely exposed. The one that basically wanted to shut down technology in order to preserve the old control. That's not regulators. That's enforcer of old technology that is not moving us forward.
That's an interesting point. So really saying because it's a National Crypto Enforcement Team, which is part of the SEC. So you're
Yeah.
saying, I mean, they did push out Binance, and they've been trying to push out crypto. So really, you're saying it's not a regulator; they are basically blocking what the future is. And so
Controllers,
let's get them out.
they
Interesting.
protect the old technology. They protect the old realm. But something happens when you introduce a new technology, it's completely resistant with the old one. And let's see who wins, right? That's what's happening. This is every war in the world, and I'm coming from a space that is rich with war, uh, is philosophies and state of minds are in a fight, right? And there is a fight between regulators to entrepreneurs, and I believe the new technology always wins. That is the rule of the land because we are evolving. You cannot pause evolution, even if you want to. That's my
Gotcha.
take on this.
So really, you see him as taking down roadblocks versus taking down regulations.
And it will come with a price. And the only thing that I say to entrepreneurs in the space, build, but don't forget your walls. Because if there are no firewalls around your gold, then it's valueless. And that's what we see. We see a lot of great platforms with great ideas, with where people invested everything they had, including their time, which is so limited anyway. And they build platform, they build tools, they build services, but they never pause to think about the fact that there are hyenas outside your garden. And the moment they have targeted you, it's your end game, right? So if you don't have security around what you build, you have nothing. Literally, you have nothing. And that's what we see. And what I say to Witkoff, when you're building something, make sure it's secured. I mean, you don't want to end up like the rest of the gang because we know what happens there. And if you're saying, "Oh, I'm custodian, but I'm not worried about my users, and if they're being intercepted with $53 billion a year, I'm just a shelf, I'm just a
Right.
shelf." Like uh, Meta says about scammers that are filling their space. We are just shelf. You can't sue us.
Right.
I think that's
We're
gonna
just the
change.
platform.
Yes, I think that's gonna change. And I think we just read yesterday that Zuckerberg needs to sell probably Instagram because there's a
Right.
lot of power and zero liability with users that are basically shooting themselves in the head financially because of the fact that you've offered the space and you said, you know what? I don't know who's here. Good luck to everyone. It,
Yeah.
it
Will you give us a little plug? Tell us a little bit about LIONGate Networks, where people can get a hold of you. Pronounce your name properly, B, for me, so everyone can know how badly I butchered it.
So it's LIionsGate.Network. And we are being targeted by people that go on GoDaddy and purchase LionsGatesNetworks.com, and they will target our clients. So make sure the S is with the Lionsgate Network. Sorry.
Good call.
We
Excellent.
we have to be specific.
Yes.
And the name, the pronunciation of the name is Bezalel Eithan Raviv. That's first, middle, and last.
Nice. Nice. Well, you heard it here, folks. Conversation where we unpack the wild, interconnected chaos shaping the world, including the population's decline and all the reasons for it. Really appreciate you joining us today, B. This has been a fantastic conversation. We've learned now I'm going to try to avoid Christine in all way I can.
But you know what? If she came to you and she pulled her trick on you, make sure to visit our website.
Now Christine does tricks.
Right. So if she was able to perform her tricks on you, then make sure to visit us on LIionsGate.Network and report the case to us, because there are things that can be done.
LIionsGate.Network. I like it. Awesome.
Joseph, don't forget to say hi to Mary for me.
Yes. For sure. I imagine Ethan, I think I looked at it's like 10:30, 11. So I think he got started on the beer conversation because he was planning to have a beer with you, but I think he got a little too into it and forgot what we were doing.
I do have the beer, and you see, we spoke about music, and we have.
He's gonna watch us now. He's
the harp.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
I mean, next time we'll have the Guinness.
Nothing like a dark beer. So awesome. Nice talking to you, B.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. See ya. Bye.
Thank you.